Okay guys, so we're out here kind of in the middle of nowhere, but we're looking for these mysterious geoglyph lines that could only be seen from the sky. Everyone knows about the Nazca lines out in Peru, these kind of mysterious rock art built on the ground that you can only see from the sky. There are some of those here in the United States as well, and they're huge. I had to come out here and see it for myself. And apparently they're dated to be pretty old. So we're here in the southern eastern end of California on the border of Arizona. And so we're out here trying to find these and probably fly the drone up to get a bird's eye view of how it looks and see what they are, who made them, why they exist, and if they're real. Okay, let's go check this out and find it. I think there's one right over here and another one over there. We're gonna go see. There's a trail right here we're gonna follow and a sign right here. Okay, so I'm out here in California with my family on vacation, but we're gonna be filming several videos about the ancient peoples here of Southern California, and I'm excited for this. The first thing is down there is the Colorado River. You know, you got a big river here that attracts ancient peoples living along it. And so I'm guessing that's why these geoglyphs are out here, but let's go see it's right here. So it looks like they have a fence around it. From what I've heard, these were discovered by a man flying in his airplane and he saw it from above. After that, people started visiting them, but eventually cars rode over it, started destroying it, so now they have these fences here. And the indigenous peoples in this area worked hard to try to protect it. Look at that. You can kind of see it in the ground. That looks like his head right by us. Okay, you can see it right there. That looks like the head, the arms, and the legs down there. The strange thing is how hard it is to see these from the ground sometimes. And so it looks like their only audience for it would be someone from up above, right? And if it's anything similar to what we've been talking about with the Barrier Canyon culture peoples, rock art like this was kind of a way to speak to the spirits of the land and to try to petition to them for survival and guidance and help, especially during times of need. Look at that, a human figure. So I think this is one of the least disturbed of all of them. It's over 100 feet in length. Apparently you used to be able to see fingers and even lines coming out of the head, either hair or maybe like a headdress. But you can see down here, this rock, and it's really, really dark. And so what they would do is they would remove the dark rock in order to expose the lighter dirt underneath, and then they would kind of refine the edges around it. And the dating of these geoglyphs is not for certain, but they have done radiocarbon dating on them. They could be really old, into archaic times, or into about after 1 AD, which is interesting because we've been doing a lot of videos about the Fremont peoples. So it would have been around the same time as them. And so the peoples here would have had kind of a mix between maize and beans and squash agriculture mixed with hunting, kind of a hunter-gatherer and farming lifestyle blended together. Okay, so the one that's over there actually looks bigger. So we're gonna just hike across this little ravine here and go check it out really quickly. Man, I can't believe these things exist out here. Like I said earlier, I thought this was only something in Peru, but it's here in Southern California as well. I was listening to some podcasts along the way here about the ancient peoples of California, and I was kind of just blown away by how many there were. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, mostly in the north. So apparently here in California, it was the second largest area of indigenous peoples in North America. I'm guessing the Maya area was the first, the Mesoamerican area. So this place was huge, most of it up in Northern California, but extending down here as well. Now this group of people here would have been the human speaking language, and I could just imagine them slowly making their way up the Colorado River. Apparently along the Colorado River, there's many more of these geoglyphs. Some of them might be more modern, but others are more ancient. And so it looks like they had this kind of culture around here, tradition around here of creating these things. We don't know exactly what they mean, but some of the theories is that they were for ceremonial uses because they found some tracks around some of these, suggesting that they were dancing around it. Okay, there's a faint trail here, but I think we're following it. Let's go up here. We've made our way down to the ravine. I see a trail over there in the distance. So what I think is really interesting about the spot we're going to, they're on this flat portion of these elevated landscapes. Okay, look at that. Looks like there's a trail right there. Now, just so you guys know, I'm like deadly allergic to bees. And I've been watching a lot of videos about Africanized honeybees making their way up here into the southern United States. That's been freaking me out. So we're gonna keep an eye out for that. But I got EpiPens and stuff, and we're just gonna be careful. I'm not a crazy explorer. You guys just imagine ancient peoples slowly making their way up here to pay respects to this in whatever way they did back then. See, we're at the flat top now, and you can see a giant fence in that direction. You can see the legs right there and just how big this is. Okay guys, this is awesome. You can't even see it from here, which makes you wonder why they created it like this, where only someone from up high could see it. Did they have a tower somewhere so that they could look at it and that tower's gone? Or it seems more likely that they created it for something above, meaning their audience was someone above, someone out there. They're trying to communicate with someone beyond themselves. And they were in this land trying to survive. And so perhaps just like our Barrier Canyon videos and the ancient rock art there, they created this for their audience who were the spirits or entities of that land. And they would appeal to them, to the spirits or beings of that land, for guidance, for help, for survival. And so you could just imagine a group of people down there with a culture where they would come up here and come to these peoples, come to these spirits for ceremony. I say this a lot in my videos. Sometimes we think this is all just graffiti or something like that, but this type of stuff isn't something you just do out of nowhere when you are a hunter-gatherer society trying to survive. Everything you hold, everything you take care of is delicate and limited. And so you can't just have leisure time all the time. So a lot of this rock art is a way to connect to the divine world, to the supernatural world, to the other side, to help them survive in this land, to give a meaning of this place. And so it's special that way. Okay, guys, so thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on this adventure with me. We're here in Southern California. We're going to explore some more sites. So keep following, subscribe if you haven't. We're going to do a lot more of these all over the Americas. So subscribe, follow, share. Thanks for watching, and keep exploring.